At the beginning of the story, a couple is seen covered in blood, terrified, and in very bad condition. The scene then shifts to an event, which is actually a celebration for a boy named David, who has just become a civil engineer. At this event, a girl named Nadia is also present. She is David's friend, and from their conversation, it becomes clear that both of them love each other deeply and want to spend their lives together. However, David has not proposed to Nadia yet because he is waiting for a special moment. This event finally gives him the chance. At the hotel where they are staying, David takes Nadia to the washroom and proposes to her. Although it feels strange to propose in such a place, and Nadia feels a little upset, she still says yes because of her love for him. The story then jumps 1.5 years ahead. David and Nadia are now married, but their relationship starts to weaken. While things were fine when they lived apart, living together brings out differences. They begin to fight over small issues and slowly grow distant. Around this time, Nadia finds out that she is pregnant, but she feels unsure about her future with David, so she decides not to tell him yet. She discusses it with her neighbor Thomas, who advises her that David is not a bad person and she should give him more chances instead of making a hasty decision. Meanwhile, David plans a trip to spend some time with Nadia. He suggests going hiking in the snowy mountains. Nadia agrees happily, and the next day they set off along with their dog. On the way, they stop at a fuel station where they encounter some strange men. These men are so odd that they even have a dead reindeer in their car. Though David and Nadia have nothing to do with this, the sight feels disturbing. As they leave, David's car accidentally scratches the men's car. It is only a small mark, so the couple ignores it and continues on their way. Soon, they reach their hotel, where the receptionist behaves strangely with them and keeps staring. They ignore this too and head to their room. Later, those same men whose car was scratched also arrive at the hotel, but say nothing at that moment. The next day, when David and Nadia go out for hiking, they discover that their car has been vandalized with strange writings. Nadia gets angry and tells David that they should have apologized to the men earlier, which could have ended the matter. David calms her down, and they continue their journey. On the way, they spot the men's car parked nearby. Out of anger, Nadia scratches their car with a long mark and quickly runs back to her own car. Soon, the couple reaches the starting point of their hike. They climb the snowy mountains, enjoy the adventure, and spend some time resting with their dog. By evening, it gets dark, so they set up a camp and decide to stay there for the night. Inside the camp, Nadia finally tells David about her pregnancy. Hearing this, David becomes very happy, but this happiness does not last long. Soon, both notice a laser light on their camp. They step outside to check, but the darkness is so heavy that nothing is visible. Out of fear, David tells Nadia they should leave immediately, and both begin packing in a hurry. Suddenly, they hear someone screaming. Their dog runs in that direction, and shortly after, the sound of gunfire is heard. This makes it clear that someone has killed the dog. David realizes that staying here is no longer safe. Without their belongings, they start running away while bullets are being fired at them. They fail to understand why someone wants to kill them, but to save their lives, they are forced to run into the forest. On this stormy, snowy night, they find shelter in a wooden cottage. There they decide to return to their camp the next day and collect their essential belongings before leaving. But things do not go as planned. When David reaches the camp, he finds the dog's body in a horrifying state. The sight makes him nauseous, while Nadia panics. David tries to comfort her, but before they can gather themselves, David gets badly injured in a trap set nearby. At this point, flashbacks repeatedly show a past accident connected to both of them. The details of that accident are yet to be revealed, but it clearly brings deep regret. And it seems that what is happening now is somehow linked to it. David is now seriously injured and needs urgent medical help. The couple heads towards their car, but along the way, they see a man standing at a distance. Before they can ask for help, the man starts shooting at them, confirming that he is the one trying to kill them. Once again, they run into the forest to save their lives. While escaping, a bullet hits David, leaving him even more wounded. Somehow, Nadia manages to drag him to another cottage. Inside, she quickly begins cleaning his wounds. David is in unbearable pain, and without treatment, he risks dying from infection. Fortunately, Nadia finds a first aid kit there and manages to dress his wounds, though only temporarily. Meanwhile, another flashback of the accident appears, showing the moment when they were in the car and the tragedy took place. The memory makes Nadia deeply sad and distressed. David's condition continues to worsen, and another painful night passes. By the next morning, they sense movement outside. Nadia and David carefully peek through the window. David and Nadia see a guard holding a gun. This guard is the same man they had seen earlier at the hotel. They begin to feel that he is a madman, a killer who mercilessly murders people, and that he is the one chasing their lives. Both try to escape the cottage quietly, but the guard spots them and starts chasing. In the chaos, Nadia shoots the guard, leaving him badly injured on the ground. Taking advantage of the moment, the couple runs away. David's condition keeps getting worse, and walking becomes extremely difficult for him. At this point, Every step and every decision must be taken carefully. While they are talking, another man arrives on a mountain bike with a gun in his hand. He tries to hold Nadia at gunpoint, but David attacks him from behind and injures him. The couple then takes his mountain bike and escapes. They return to the hotel, hoping for help from the hotel owner. Instead of helping, the owner locks them inside a room. On the walls, they find many old photographs of themselves, as if someone had been spying on them for months. Among these pictures, there is also a photograph of a child. That photo becomes the missing link, the reason why David and Nadia are trapped in this nightmare. The biggest secret of the story is finally revealed. The repeated flashback of an accident shows the truth. On the day David proposed to Nadia, while they were driving, David became distracted. Their car hit a small child, killing him instantly. Instead of helping, the couple panicked and fled the scene. They thought the child was alone, but his parents were there as well. These grieving parents are the ones now seeking revenge. The father of the child turns out to be none other than Thomas, their neighbor. From the very day his son died, Tomas began planning his revenge. Their stay at the hotel, their entire journey, everything had been part of his plan. The receptionist, who kept staring at them strangely, is revealed to be the child's mother. The man who captured them was also working for Tomas. Eventually, Tomas captures both David and Nadia, ties them up, and begins torturing them slowly. At this moment, the injured guard, whom Nadia had shot earlier, appears again. Surprisingly, he had been trying to save them all along. A fight breaks out between Tomas and the guard. Using the opportunity, David and Nadia escape, but David's injuries make it impossible to go far. Tomas soon catches up to them. David pleads with Tomas, saying he alone was responsible for the accident. He begs Tomas to kill him but spare Nadia, as she is pregnant. But Tomas wants them to feel the same pain he and his wife felt when their child died. He shoots Nadia, killing both her and the unborn baby instantly. Thomas spares David, forcing him to live with the grief of losing his wife and child, just as Thomas and his wife live with the loss of theirs. In a single moment, David loses everything, just like Thomas and his wife once did. The film shows that both couples are at fault. David and Nadia's carelessness caused the death of an innocent child, and instead of helping, they ran away. On the other side, Tomas and his wife, blinded by revenge, destroyed another family completely. The message becomes clear. Revenge is not the solution. Just as Nadia scratched those men's car out of anger, which was also a mistake, Tomas and his wife chose vengeance when forgiveness was an option. Wrong actions always return to haunt, but kindness and forgiveness can save. The story teaches that revenge is never necessary. One should forgive, help others in need, and move forward instead of letting hatred destroy everything.